shackles off me. The world's trying to weigh me down, and I know this is how the story goes. Love and peace in a world so cold. Tell me where's the unity? This ain't how it's supposed to be. Oh no, change don't come. Love will find a way. We gotta pray for brighter days.
What up, though, guys? Oh, I am not used to my mic being this far. Okay, listen, it's been a minute. So happy to see you guys. My lighting is going to be a little different. I moved in my apartment, and I think this might be my first live since I moved into my new place. And it's blinging. I don't have no background. All my stuff is still in boxes, like getting, I found a fix-it person, someone that assembles things. So they're going to come and start putting up my tables and all that stuff. So, I can get my studio right. I might sound a little far because it's like an echo. I feel like it's an echo, but okay. Anyway, I'm excited to be back. This is insane. Oh, it's a lot that's insane. Okay. I'm telling you, it's so much that I put into my watch later playlist for me to discuss, and but this was immediate. Like I had to talk about this like immediately. Okay. So I'm going to show a couple of clips that I found that I was that I kind of was watching earlier today, and we'll discuss those clips. And then also I would love for you guys to engage in the comments with me. And remember, I told y'all I was going to put my Cash App up. If y'all can afford to give me $1, I know y'all can afford to give me $1. If you can give me $1, that would help. Any little thing will help so that I can start pouring into my show more, since I'm not monetized. It's just little old me. And, I really am trying to spend money that is needed, because not everything is free. Okay. You get free trials and all that different type of stuff. But in order to really have a better show, a great show, and continuously bring you some exciting stuff, I do need you guys' help. So it's down in my where my name is, and the Cash App. It's so funny because I never ask for money. So it's kind of like, I mean, you know, I never ask like my the people that watch me, my audience. This is my first time. So One Nest Media, it's Cash App, $ One Nest Media. Thank you so much. So what we'll be discussing first is and watching is the Karen situation. Okay, the viral Karen of 2025. This to me was so crazy. One is because, you know, I don't know if you guys looked at it, but this is how racism, and this is definitely racial profile and racism, whatever you want to call it, it's everything. Okay, I'm not holding anything back. I'm keeping it all the way 100. I'm not softening my approach. Yes, I have great people in my life that are white women, white men, some good-hearted people, but honestly, the way that things is happening and the more society is just changing, especially since the, you know, a lot of things changed in January this month. Some people, true colors is coming out, but the people that I genuinely care about, they have been solid since day one. So I don't want to call out everybody and say everybody is put in a box like most people say with the black culture and put us all in a box. I don't believe in that. But there is a good 75% of Caucasian white people right now that is feeling extremely entitled. And this is showing right now. It has been this way, but it hasn't been such a large percentage. And these are just my percentages. It's not anything that I research and study. This is just me feeling like the majority of the people is becoming way more entitled, that are the supposed to be the majority Caucasian, white, whatever you want to call it. So let's take a look at these, and I'm going to show these clips, and I'll be scrolling through some stuff too, just so you know, because I have full clips of everything. I didn't like cut anything out, so you'll be seeing me scrolling. So we'll.
You now tuned into the All Viral Access Media Show. All right, let's get it.
You're now tuned in to All Viral Access Media.
And all the things. So I want to jump on here because my Facebook is public, and for those of you guys who are telling me that I owe a public apology, one, I will not apologize for making any sort of racist remark. I am the furthest thing.
Okay, so you know what? I don't know if everybody knows what happened. So I think I should actually go. No, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do it this way. So this is the video after the fact. So just kind of listen to what she's saying, listen to what she is saying, and then we'll go to the next one, which is the original video.
From a racist. I will, however, apologize that my expression could ever come across in such a way, or that somebody could think something of that nature of myself and my family. So long story short, I need to give the context because there's a lot of y'all who are, I'm sure, coming to my page right now not knowing. JB's coming down, hold on. He says, "This is my house." And I said, "I don't think that it is." And at that point.
Okay. I just gotta listen. I'm gonna be stopping. So I'm just telling you. He said, "This is my house." And I said, "I don't think it is." And listen to the way that she's expressing herself. Okay. It's like an entitlement.
The only reason that I said that was because truly the awkward encounter of slowing up behind me, talking to us multiple times. I'm in this frantic state. It's late at night. I got my kids, my 2 babies. The lady at the door is not answering. There's no other homes that are well established. I mean, there's construction. It's a corner house. I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, I'm on the front porch. This truck literally is halfway up the driveway. And I was like, my radar was like, nope, I don't think that this is your house.
What's going on?
Now keep in mind, she's at this man's house. This is his house.
Do you live here?
Yeah.
You do? Papa. I don't believe that.
What?
I don't believe that.
So what are you doing here?
Rory, come on. Rory, come on. Hey.
Did someone come here?
That was my wife. She got some.
Okay, I want to stop it right there. For anyone that is not of color, I want you guys to understand that this right here, what she did, could have gotten this man murked. If the police would have came, could have gotten this man 6 feet under. This is why this is so serious, and this is why it went viral the way that it did. Because of the fact that this has been happening throughout time. This is part of Black culture and what our men and women has been facing forever. And for her to do something like this, and clearly she was lying about the whole situation, but since she got caught, she had to continue with it. That is the problem. For her to not even he can't be in he can't live in an affluent neighborhood because he has a great house in a good community. That can't be his house. That's crazy work. Like, this is 2025. This is what we're still dealing with to this day. And it has to stop. Like, it's wrong.
Chased her up here, and she had kids.
Who chased her?
She said somebody in a
There was a
silver
guy
truck.
in a gray truck, and he came
So
around the corner,
I don't
and
know if you guys have a
I was
ring.
in the street, and so I come up, and I just have my kids, and so I'm like gonna pretend that I'm coming home, and so I pull up, and I start walking to your back gate, and he stops here, and he goes, "Are you looking for someone?" And I said, "Nope." And then he sat here, and I was like, "I need to get in."
Well, that's my husband. That's why he lives here. Yeah. He lives here. So he came in and he said there's this lady screaming. And I'm like,
She got all worried that some.
Scared the crap out of me.
How?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
how did he scare you
I
though?
had a feel.
I just seen her in the driveway and I was like, are you looking for somebody? Because I was pulling up out
And I
home.
saw someone walking in our driveway too. And I'm like, why is someone walking in our driveway?
Well, I'm
Oh, there
sorry.
we go. All right, sorry.
She said that someone was following her. So you were walking from there?
No, you came this way, didn't you?
No, I came down this street right here.
Yeah.
And I was riding slow because I'm looking at our Christmas lights.
Well, you just have to understand my point of view. Being by my
Now, if you heard that, she said to him, you just have to understand my point of view. No, he does not have to understand your point of view. You are on his property. Why do he have to understand your point of view? It's the middle of the night. Why do you got your kids outside?
myself with 2 kids, I just saw a car coming, and so I was like, oh, it scared me, and so I just pulled up here, and I kept thinking, this could be his house. But you didn't say, this is my home. You just said, are you looking? And I was like,
I did when you was on the porch.
But he don't have to say this is his home. If he said this is his house, that's good enough. He told her it was his house. She trying to correct him and say he should have said, this is my home. What difference does it make? He told you it was his property. That's entitlement. You're trying to tell this man what he should say, but you're the one that's wrong because you're on his property.
You asked me, did I live here? I said, yeah.
And you said, no, you don't.
And you said, I don't think you do.
Right.
It was obviously you could tell that I was really caught off guard.
Like I'm pulling in my, it's like I'm pulling in my house. Like this is not this neighborhood is probably one of the best neighborhoods in Ohio. You don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Well, I'm very sorry. I really hope that you're not upset with me.
Come on, babe, go in the house. Let's go.
You told me that I didn't. You said you didn't think I live here.
It was the way that you were talking. I was so caught off guard. I'm so sorry. And so I said, I don't.
Okay, we're gonna stop it right here real quick. Let me see who in the chat. Shout out to my girl, communicator. What's up, babe? Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. I hope that you listen and kind of get to understand what's going on. What's up, Shy Shock Me? Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you coming back. Thank you, Natisha. I appreciate the heart on Facebook. Thank you so much. All right, guys, let's get back.
I don't believe that this is your house. And so I'm starting to unbuckle Cash, and I grab and I freak. I go, Rory, run. And so I take off the porch and I literally run as fast as I can, screaming at the top of my lung. I'm getting all these messages. I'm so sorry. Screaming at the top of my lung. I have never, ever, ever screamed the way that I screamed. And I'm running through the front yards of everybody, praying that the Ring doorbell would capture us. Finally, to get to a woman's house, I'm bang on the door. And at this point, I'm dialing 911. And I said, can I please come in? And the woman said, yes, come in. And so I'm staying there. I'm talking to the sheriff. And more than anything, I was not looking for him to come to my rescue at this point. My husband was going to come. I'm in this woman's house. The door is closed. And I tell the man, and he said, do I need to come out? And I just said, no. I said, I was just calling to let you know that this just happened. My husband's going to come get me. And, he says, he asked me if I wanted him to come out, and I said no. And so the woman then, I was at her house, she literally asked me and said, she said, I don't know how to ask this. She goes, but was it a black man? Because she goes, it's a black family that lives there. And I said, no, I believe that this is a white man. He was a white man in a truck, a young white man is what I said. And she said,
how did she think that it was a young white man in a truck if he had a conversation with her and you can clearly see he has locks? And she went and called the police.
Said, okay. She goes, because that's a black family that lives there. And I said, no, I don't think that it was a black man. And then when my husband got there, I stood out front and we're still trying to get the Ring doorbell footage of me talking to my husband. But he asked me again, he said, what house was it? And I said, it was this house right here. And he goes, are you sure it wasn't a black guy? He goes, because that's a black family. And I said, no, I don't believe that it was a black man. And so we get in the car and we go to pick up the stroller. And I've said this a million times, I have never felt the fear that I had even just pulling up in front of the house when John opened the door to get out of the truck. The amount of, I've never went into like fight or flight like that before. And so he gets out of the car and he, goes up to the woman's house, and a woman comes out onto the front porch and she says something along the lines like, did you forget something or did you leave something? And John laughs and he's like, yes, we did. I'm so sorry. And I get out of the car and I walk up to the woman and I could not tell her fast enough what had happened. She walks out on the porch and I jump out of the car and I said, I said, oh my gosh, yes, there was a man. And John was the one that said a man was following her, chasing her, following her is what I said. I use the word chasing, following me. And, so she said, I jumped out of the car and I said, I'm so sorry. I said, literally, I was pretending that your house was my house. I was walking up the driveway and then I was like turning in. I was pretending that it was yours. And she goes, yeah, that was my husband. And
Why was she pretending that their house was her house? Why? So it wasn't your house, so it could be his house.
So he ends up coming out and he's like, I told you this was my house. And at that point, I literally started, I said, I'm so sorry. I said, I am so sorry. And I told him, I said, sorry. I said, I'm so sorry. And then, I said, this is your house. That was my words. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, this is your house. I said, I truly kept thinking like, maybe this is his house. Maybe this is his house. And he says, well, I told you this was your house. And I said, you have to understand. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, it was such an awkward encounter. I said, the truck was like starting to slow behind me. And I'm out here with my little girl and my son, and I said, I'm a mom, and it was dark. And he said, but I told you that this was my house. He says, I was driving slow because I was looking at my Christmas lights. And once again, I said, I am so sorry. And they truly, they did not take my apology.
No.
And that night, I went home. And so if you guys saw on Instagram, I shared the story twice. The only reason that I shared the story is because I was heartbroken and it was a really scary night. I've always shared everything on Instagram. And so that night after that whole instance happened, I literally was sitting on the steps, first of all, and John kept trying to talk to me. I kept telling him I was so sorry. And I've never, just the panic. I literally could not come down from this like fight or flight from the time that I was at the woman's house to literally 30 seconds later, telling the woman that I was just followed to the man stepping out on the front porch and it being his house. It was like all of these different emotions. And so I'm sitting at home, literally like having this meltdown. And I kept telling John I was so sorry. Like I felt really stupid. And so on the way home, I forgot to say that the cop was driving around our neighborhood. And I'm getting all these messages. I'm so sorry.
Emmett Till. If you don't know, look it up. But if you know, you know.
The cop was driving around our neighborhood and I stopped him. We stopped him and I jumped over, rolled the window down and I said, I am so sorry. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, it was his house. It was a misunderstanding. I'm so sorry. He was like, it's okay. I'm glad everything's fine. I was like, yes, it's fine. So I ended up, we went home. And that night when I got home, I had tears and I was making a cup of coffee. And if you guys know me, I put everything on Instagram. I talk all the time. It was an innocent mistake. I felt really stupid. I absolutely was crushed I felt like they thought I was stupid. I already felt stupid. I truly felt stupid. Like I said to them on the porch, like I kept thinking like maybe this is his house. And then like I'm running and screaming at the top of my lungs. And so, yeah, like I felt dumb for sure.
Okay, that's enough of that. I can't no more. I was trying to get to her tears because she's gonna wind up busting out and crying, but I got to remove this. I can't do it. I can't do that. Like, I didn't watch all of this because I wanted to I haven't watched a lot of the clips thoroughly because I wanted to share with you or have an experience with you on some of the information. So I seen to when she was crying, but honestly, I thought I was going to be able to get back to that part. I'm just going to go to Shannon Sharp and we're going to listen to the interview that the couple gave on his platform.
Favorite sports thunk here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. We're going to welcome DeMichael Jenkins. He's a seasoned real estate developer, investor, custom home designer, as well as chief operator officer and owner of 3D Vision. And unfortunately, Ocho, he was involved in a disgusting racial profiling act outside of his own home. Mm-hmm. And so welcome, Mikey. Congratulations to your Buckeyes. Well done. I know you I'm surprised you ain't got on your Buckeye shirt, but congratulations to your Buckeyes to you. And I think that's your wife?
Yeah.
Congratulations, ma'am. Thank you for joining us. Mikey, if you can, go back. I know it was in November, and here we are in late January. If you can recount the events as you remember as vividly as you possibly can.
Yeah, I can remember. It wasn't too long ago. I was leaving one of my real estate job sites in the inner city, wrapping it up for the day. It was about 5:15. Took me about 45 minutes to get home. So I'm proud to go home. Shannon, something I want you to know is when they say it's a affluent neighborhood, it's one of the most wealthiest neighborhoods in Ohio.
Wow, congrats.
And my house is the best house in the
That's what I'm talking
neighborhood
about.
because I
Come on now.
I designed it from scratch. I'm an architectural designer. I bought the land, I financed the land, designed it from scratch, and I built it from the ground up using all my resources. So proud to come home. I'm pulling up, checking out my Christmas lights we just put up for the holiday season. And there happens to be a lady in the driveway with 2 kids. So I don't think nothing of it. Kids coming in and out my house all the time. I got kids, got a family over here. I don't think nothing of it. I think she's looking for the front door. I say, hey, are you looking for somebody? She doesn't answer. She then proceeds to go to the porch. So I'm like, okay, so she's probably coming over. So I pull in the driveway. I'm about to park, and she rings the doorbell and comes to the front of the front porch and stops me and says, do you live here? And I said, yeah, I live here. She said, well, I don't think so. So I said, well, what are you doing here? She says, I don't think you live here. Picks the kid up, drops the stroller, hops off the porch, starts running, and I hear screaming, yelling for help. At that point, now I'm in fear. I'm in fear because I know what we face as Black men in America. So I rush to the garage, park in the garage, come in the house. My wife's in the office. I said, babe, some white Caucasian lady, she just jumped off our front porch, screaming, yelling for help. I don't know if she's gonna call the police. I'm pacing back and forth. I don't know what's about to happen.
Now, this is what got me upset. Why should he be pacing back and forth in his own home? Why should he be in fear in his own home? Like, that's crazy.
6 p.m., regular day. We pacing back and forth. I don't, at this point, I'm like, I don't know what's about to happen. She comes back before the police gets here. I don't want to go outside. I don't want to go outside with them outside. And the police pulls up, and I don't know what's going to pop off. If the police pull up, altercation happen, anything could happen. Right. I know they're going to side with them. So my wife's come outside, and she just wants to figure out what's going on because she's in shock. And I'll let her say how she ended up coming outside or whatnot.
Okay, when he
came home and he said, there's
I was going to ask you. He
ahead.
Comes into the house. He says, babe, there's a white lady standing on our porch. She's running, yelling, screaming. I don't know what this is about. And so what's going through your mind when he explains what he just encountered?
I was in my office working and I'm confused. I'm not understanding what's going on. Like, what do you mean there's a white woman running, screaming for help? Screaming for help for what? He's like, I don't know. And immediately my heart dropped. I'm like walking and pacing back and forth. Like, okay, just wait. Okay. Well, what happened? Nothing. I was just pulling in the house. And I'm like, what is she screaming for? He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, are you, what? What? And I keep opening up the door because I feel like the police is going to come here. Somebody is about to come here, and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know what fully happened. I didn't hear anything. I'm in the house working.
So
and so I kept opening up the door, and that's when I came out.
So she did end up calling the police.
She did end up calling the police.
She did call the police.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. Now, this happened in November. The video just recently got released. What caused you guys to release? Because I'm glad this is on ring camera, because you're absolutely right. Had this not been captured on camera, on video, we already know the story that was going to be told and how it was going to be spun. But you guys had it on camera. What made you guys finally decide to release it?
Well, I actually released the video in our community Facebook group.
Oh.
We have a community Facebook group, about 500 or so people, and ever since I've been like, we've been shattered, we've been upset, it's so many different factors and so many different feelings. Feelings. I put the video in our community Facebook group to share what happened. And it took a lot for me to do that. And then we woke up and the videos everywhere.
You know what's funny? It's one thing to experience racial profiling in public. You know, in public, I'm sure we all have stories where it happens in that setting. But for it to happen in your own home, I mean, it can be unsettling. It could be uncomfortable, especially when it comes to a place that you call a place of peace that we can all get away from, you know, from the outside world. Has that affected your sense of security and trust in the neighbors? And have you reconciled in any way with the neighbor who caused these issues?
Of course, there's a lack of trust. Of course, it makes us feel unwelcome and unsafe. We have 2 boys, and he leads our family. He protects our family. So to know that we can't go walk the dog, or someone looking at us is what's going to happen. It's a lot of weight. It's a lot of pain, and it's a lot of emotion.
I can still.
And he's desensitized to this.
I still hear it in your voice.
So of course. Not once have we got, I thought the next day maybe there would be some flowers at the door saying, not once has this person reached out to us to give us a sincere apology.
Wait, whoa.
HOA.
I reached out to HOA immediately after it happened.
Nobody said anything?
Immediately after it happened, I reached out. HOA ghosted me.
Wow.
For lack of better words.
Can I ask you this? Prior to that night, prior to that incident, had you ever seen this woman prior to this incident?
I've been in the neighborhood for 3 years. I built the house from the ground up. I know the developers in the neighborhood. I lived in the front of the neighborhood while I built the house. I walked to the job site every day. So have I seen her eye for eye? No. I've walked by their house and seen them on the front porch.
So she see
when they came, I didn't recognize.
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
I didn't recognize them, but I was going to say it's a 90% or more of the neighborhood is predominantly Caucasian. So we're one of Black families in the neighborhood.
And our house sits all the way in the back of the neighborhood, and the people ride by and take pictures every day. And there's a lot of publicity with our house, so it really was it was shocking. But they stay to themselves in the neighborhood.
Let me ask you this: when you walk up and you ask, "What can I help you with?" and she says, "Is this your house?" you say, "Yeah," and she says, "I don't believe you." When someone tells you they're standing on your porch and they tell that's not their property, and they tell you that this is not your property, what went through your mind when someone is standing on your porch and they say, "Well, you don't live here"?
Well, that's when I was battle tested as a Black man, as a man that had been to prison, that's, you know, had to transition and learn how to put pride and ego to the side and control your emotions.
Okay.
That's when that kicked in. That was the ultimate battle test. Because in my mind, I said the audacity of her. That was in my mind, but I had to control my emotions in the moment because I knew where it could have escalated at. I'm thinking, well, what if she had a gun?
Correct.
Would she have been running or would I have been running?
Is this a situation? Because now she said, well, you have to see it from my point of view. No, I don't need to see anything from your point of view when you stand on my porch. But for her to say, well, you didn't say, well, I really live here. I live here. I don't have to identify myself. This is mine. Why do I have to tell you?
I said all of that, and I did not watch this video in its entirety. He's saying exactly what I was saying. Like, that's crazy.
Who I am when you standing on my property.
Okay. I'm going to have all of the videos that I show. I'm going to have the links after my show in the comments. In the description box, so that if you want to do your own research or watch the full. I am looking at my microphone. I'm looking at my microphone instead of the camera. Guys, I am exhausted. Do you hear me? I can't believe I just was looking at the microphone while I was supposed to be talking to y'all. Oh, I am about to make that a funny clip. Okay. So anyway, as I was saying, I'm going to have all of the videos in the description box so that you guys can actually go to the videos that you want to, watch in its entirety, including every video that I show, because I'm just going through the clips and just having a conversation about it so that you can kind of, see what's going on. If you don't know, kind of do some research about it. If you do know, some more thorough research, but so that was that with that situation, which is crazy work, man. It's just like, before I move on to the next topic, I just want to say with this, I don't know, why are we being set back? It's not even being set back. We never had equal footing. We never been looked at as equal. And why is it that because we live in affluent, like even I've experienced what they're experienced to a certain degree because of me moving in affluent areas, and people like, oh, if one come, they all coming. I see it, I feel it, all of that. Even now where I live, like a lot of my neighbors are not inviting. They're not nice people. They look and they just look like, And I try to put on a smile and everything. If I'm in the elevator with them, there's no small talk, no nothing. They don't want to even look. So it's just like, okay, whatever. I'm just here to do what I got to do. But, I don't understand why we just can't be looked at as people who can be successful, can live wherever we want, can have the same peace of mind. There's no way that this couple should have to pace around their own floor, not feel like they can't even walk their dog in the neighborhood because it's 90% white. And the funny thing is that if somebody moved in a white person, when they move into because I've witnessed this before by living in an all-black neighborhood, never treat them like this. Never. You hardly even hear about any situations where a white person moving in the neighborhood and people don't moving in a neighborhood where it's predominantly black. You don't hear about that. If anything, hey, how are you? It's crazy. I don't understand, but it's 2025. But I'm scared after these executive orders, we really might be set back in time. All right, so now we're going there's a little schooling that I want to do, because I feel like we're going into a situation where the rich is taking over, and the rich is the ones that will be governing this country even more so than they already were.
Oligarchy means government of and by a few at the top who exercise power for their own benefit. It comes from the Greek word oligarchos, meaning few to rule or command. Even a system that calls itself a democracy can become an oligarchy if power becomes concentrated in the hands of a very few wealthy people and a corporate and financial elite. Their power and wealth increase over time as they make laws that favor themselves. They manipulate financial markets to their advantage and create or exploit economic monopolies that put even more wealth into their pockets.
What does that sound like? Who does that sound like? Okay.
Modern-day Russia is an oligarchy, where a handful of billionaires who control most major industries dominate politics and the economy. But what about the United States? According to a study published in 2014 by Princeton professor Martin Gillens and Northwestern professor Benjamin Page, although Americans enjoy many features of democratic governance, such as regular elections and freedom of speech and association, American policymaking has become dominated by powerful business organizations and a small number of affluent Americans. The typical American has no influence at all. This is largely due to the increasing concentration of wealth. In a 2019 research paper, UC Berkeley economics professor Gabriel Zuckman determined that the richest 1% of Americans now own 40% of the nation's wealth. That's up from 25 to 30% of the nation's wealth in the 1980s. The only country Zuckman found with similarly high levels of wealth concentration is Russia. America has had an oligarchy before, in the first Gilded Age, which ran from the 1880s until the early 20th century. Teddy Roosevelt called that oligarchy the malefactors of great wealth, and fought them by breaking up large concentrations of economic power, the trusts, and instituting a progressive federal income tax. His fifth cousin, Franklin D. Roosevelt, further reduced their power by strictly regulating Wall Street and encouraging the growth of labor unions. The oligarchy fought back, but Roosevelt wouldn't yield. Government by organized money is just as dangerous as government by organized mob, he thundered in 19...
Government by organized money is just as dangerous as government by organized mob. Message.
1936. Never before in all our history have these forces been so united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred. But the American oligarchy has returned. We're now in a second Gilded Age. As the great jurist Louis Brandeis once said, we can have democracy in this country, or we can have concentrated wealth in the hands of a few. But we cannot have both. We must...
Okay. Sorry. I'm going to stop that there. And you heard what he said. We can have democracy in this country. Hold on. Or we can have concentrated wealth, but we can't have both. Okay? So what is that saying? Democracy is pretty much out the door. Concentrated wealth on so many different levels is what's been the focus for a minute. And now it's coming to its head. Okay. So I just wanted to break that down because honestly, this is the direction that we're moving in, whether people believe it or not. It is what it is. That's what's happening. So I'm going to also, because that is it was close to the end, but getting that information and kind of like marinating on that so you can really understand it a little more would be great. So you can understand what's about to happen for the next 4 years. All right. So now from that video, check out some of the people that was at the inauguration. Oh, hold on. What did I just do? Hold on. Okay, now this was so funny to me because y'all know Barack is not getting a divorce. Michelle wasn't going to that. She kept that all the way 100. She wasn't going to that. That's a sister. She was not showing no face. She could care less. Do you understand me? That's as real as it gets. She don't care about that. She was not going, and she did not go. She no saving face, no nothing. Barack had to walk on his own. That's cold as ice. But I'm not mad at her at all. Okay, so continue to watch. Okay, the oligarchy has began. CEO of Google, CEO Tesla, NX, you know that, CEO Apple, Prime Minister of Italy, President of Argentina, CEO Meta, CEO Amazon, CEO UFC, and many, many more. Okay? And many, many more. This was just the tipping of the iceberg. Okay? Woo! Child. Now, let's have a funny moment. Hold on, let's go back and let's really break this down. This music is crazy word. Hold on. Let's really break this down. Hold on. Let's see. Look at old boy face. You know who he looked like? He looked like Damien Omen from the movie The Omen. Okay, let's stop. And this has been the talk of the town about her little lingerie showing. Okay, man, these people with all this money, straight tacky, just Did y'all not see that air kiss? That's probably why she wore that hat. She was like, you better not. You know, we don't even sleep together. Don't even try it.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump.
He did not get sworn in with the Bible. Now, technically, from what I research, they don't have to, but majority of all presidents have done that for a reason. So, so that means he did not put God first for this country. And I thought it was God and country. Okay.
Do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States
the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve,
protect, and defend
the
Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
And he made the sound and everything. He made the sound.
My heart goes out to you.
Watch Zuckerberg. He gonna be looking at her shirt when they sit down. I think this the one. Look, watch.
Welcome to the 60th presidential inauguration. Today, President-elect Trump and Vice President-elect Vance will take their oaths of office, and we will witness the peaceful transfer of power at the heart of our democracy. For the past year, I've chaired the inaugural ceremony committee.
America will reclaim its rightful place as the greatest, most powerful, most respected nation on earth, inspiring the awe and admiration of the entire world. A short time from now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and we will restore the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley, where it should be and where it belongs.
Okay, fun fact. I just found out that the reason why that Obama, was it that one? Oh, the Mount McKinley. The reason that Obama had named it whatever name it was before Mount McKinley, before he changed it back. He did it because it's Alaska has a lot of native Indians, and that was to show them respect. And the McKinley man never even been to Alaska. Okay. Okay, so they just had a lot of issues for his inauguration, but honestly, I just wanted you guys to see some of the people, like the situation. You know, it's politics, and you can't really trust anybody the way that you want to help make proper decisions when it comes to that level. Majority of the time, it's the grassroots. I don't even want to call them politicians, but I mean, they are in, like our grassroots political people, like aldermen, city councilmen, or women. Those are the people that honestly we need to really be focusing on when it comes to trying to help us in certain communities. Okay, now we almost done, but guys, This man was outside of the inauguration, and he asked a couple of people how did they feel about Elon hand salute. So check this out.
Inauguration, Elon Musk just gave the Sig Heil, and MAGA hasn't been told what to think about it yet. So I'm gonna just ask them what they think about it. Let's get an honest reaction. Hey, look at this. Did you see this? Did you see that? Yep. Elon Musk, he's talking. Is it Trump's saying?
Okay. What was he saying?
I mean, what can you be saying? What is there to be said at that point?
Oh, I don't know.
They don't know what it is. She has no clue what that means. That's why she laughing like that.
Rockets shooting off into space, and he's like, and then going, shoo. My heart goes out to you. Oh, okay, my heart goes out to you.
All right, that's cool.
Interesting.
That's
Heart's going out.
Yeah, flying out.
What do we think of this?
My heart goes out to you.
Look, right, and then he goes like this. He goes.
I have no idea. That looks like AI to me.
But what if it was real?
What if it was real?
She was just in the inauguration. She seen it up close and personal, and she said it was AI.
I don't know.
What if it was real?
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. It looks fake, though.
It looks fake? So I'm trying to get people's reaction. What do you think about that?
You want me to read it?
No. What do you think about it? Look
just
at
Elon in general?
Elon, no, look at.
His hand signal?
The hand signal.
Yeah. He's a Texas Longhorn fan.
It's I mean, come on.
Come on.
What do you think about that?
He's in Texas.
Oh,
He's
that's
a Longhorn fan.
He's a Longhorn fan.
Yeah, see.
You guys here for the inauguration?
Yes, sir.
Look at this. What do we think about this?
No interview.
No, it's a heart. It's a heart.
It's a heart?
I know you're fake news. I know.
Fake news, yes.
I know you're fake news. It's a heart.
Listen, if you see someone with the Sig Heil, it's just they're trying to let you know that their heart goes out to you. If someone's in your neighborhood, they're marching and they do the Sig Heil, it means their heart is going out to you. What do we think about this? Look at this. Look at that.
I love him. I love him so much. And he's going
But you
to
don't think that's weird, though, the thing? You don't think that's weird to go like that?
No, I don't think it's... What are you talking about?
These people don't even know what that means. They don't know what it means.
Look.
You know the hand off. But look. Hands and look the light. What does it mean, the light? What is that? Power. Better. He has the power of the United
States. Well, it is about power. We can agree on that, yes. It is definitely.
Did you see the light? It's power.
It is about power. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I agree. Yeah. What do you think about Elon's performance here?
Let me guess. He puts his arm up. Is that what you're going to show?
What? Come on. What do we think about this?
I'm not in any political position to say. That's way out of my price range. Yes, he's a billionaire. Do I think that's okay? No. Do I think he'll make an apology about it? Yes. Says that context will definitely get taken out of the wrong way.
So as a human being, we can agree that is weird.
Correct. I can agree with that.
Okay. Thank you so much for just saying that is weird. You're the first person I spoke to that's saying that's weird.
Well, like I said, I'm a conservative, but I can honestly say what's right and what's wrong. That I don't necessarily agree with, as that could be very offensive to people.
Yeah, it's messed up. I mean, I think he meant it as a joke.
Thank you.
Finally, somebody that actually is a conservative person still has a brain and a mind to be able to think on their own and say, this is not right. They can, like, two things can exist. There can be a person that voted for Trump, and he can also say that is weird, that's not right about what Elon Musk did. These people, majority of them, because they voted for Trump, don't want to say nothing bad about nothing, even if it is weird. That's what's weird. That's what we should be scared of, that people do not have a mind of their own. Okay, I'm not going to even do that. All right, so there's more for this clip. I just wanted to show you some of it. Like I said, I'm going to have everybody's links so I can give credit to all of these great content creators. So I'll have them in my description later on tonight. Okay. So this right here, shout out to Cindy'sville. Okay, so she put a compilation together of a bunch of Caucasian white people that and how they feel about what Elon Musk did. Okay, now when you can get some people, when you get some white people on this same side as us when it comes to what's wrong is wrong, okay, we need to listen. So evidently this man said something about Elon joined a nationalist group. So let's check it out. Hold on, let me see if I can just start right there.
That, but I am only reacting to this video, and note it is for educational purposes only, not to bully anyone or harass anyone. Check these videos out.
And then he turned around and he did it again, facing the other way. There's no misconstruing that. There's no, oh, he meant something else. He's going to say, like, I was talking about my heart. No. That is exactly what it looks like. And anyone surprised hasn't been paying attention. Twitter literally flooded with Nazis, white nationalists, people talking about white replacement theory. This is an account that's pro-apartheid. And then they celebrated that their very first subscriber was Elon Musk. This account pushes white replacement theory. Talk about it all the time, and Elon responds to one of their posts, they absolutely want your extinction. And this man essentially owns the presidency. But TikTok is the threat to national security, not the Bond villain with his own social media platform. Got it.
I grew up knowing that we don't do anything that might look like a Roman salute. And by Roman salute, I mean the new definition of a Roman salute that has been concocted today in order to defend Elon Musk. And I don't think anybody ever sat me down and told me that I shouldn't do that, anything that looked like that, or do that for a joke or otherwise. It's just that I knew, because I knew the history of that, and I knew how serious it was, and I knew that we don't do it. I'm 36, nearly 37. Were we the only generation that were taught this, or that knew this, or that learned this, or had this instinct not to do that? Because people are trying to tell me today that the smartest man on the planet did that twice in a few seconds, and it was just an oopsie, despite the fact that he's repeatedly referred to with similar language as the people who used to do that. People are trying to tell me that he got on the stage and he did that by accident twice. It's hurting my head.
We have some extremely scary news right now. Elon Musk just went on stage at the Capital One Arena and did a Nazi salute to the crowd. It's only a 1-second clip because it was that fast. A lot of people missed this while watching this, but I was watching it and I was just stunned. Many online are saying he did what is called a Roman salute, which is a salute coined by fascists. It was then taken by Nazi Germany and used as its own Nazi salute to celebrate Nazism. Do we know whether that's what he meant? Obviously not. It's only speculation, but what we can see is him clearly doing it on stage at the Capital One Arena, and not enough people are talking about it right now. It is an extremely concerning picture to watch, especially given the fact that we are now just only about 3.5 hours into Donald Trump's tenure as the 47th president of the United States, and Musk is someone who will have an office in the White House. As always, comment below your thoughts, spread the word, and follow along to stay up to date on all the news you need to know about.
Now I gotta say, I was watching this live, and in no way, shape, or form does that look like a mistake. That looked very direct. That's a threat in my opinion. Now, I don't want to be the person that said I told you so, but letting a billionaire that close to a position of government is a true danger. This is not good. And if there was any question about who this administration cares about, you just got your answer. And it's not a good one.
All y'all's evil little bitches are, one, fucking dumb, two, you need a history lesson, because Google is free, and you were told it's a Roman salute, and you took it and you ran with it, without even checking what a fucking Roman salute is. Once again, Google is free. In the 20th century, the Roman salute became a widely recognized symbol of fascism in Italy, in Germany, and in Spain. So either y'all are bots, which I'm still not convinced are not, or y'all are fucking stupid because you're unable to check on Google what a Roman salute is. You were told it's a Roman salute and you were like, yeah, makes sense. I'm just gonna harass everyone who posts about it and say it's a Roman salute without even knowing what a fucking Roman salute is. But I guess the motto of the US is, if it didn't happen to me, it didn't happen. In which case, yeah. Because we've been knowing that you guys were going straight into fascism. But apparently you still don't see it with this fucking salute. There's a reason why every fucking news outlet in Europe covered this. And it is because it is a fucking salute. And a Roman salute is exactly the same thing, except it doesn't get you banned if you say it. So, if you want to say Roman salute, it is a fucking Roman salute. Once again, Google is fucking free.
If you don't call out Elon Musk for what he did last night, then anything that happens after this point is in part your fault. If that is your guy, I am begging you to draw some lines, to make it clear that there are some things that we have decided collectively as a society that we do not do, and that is one of them. Because he is testing you. Not me, because he's not my guy. He's testing you. He is trying to figure out what you will let him get away with.
She is absolutely correct. This is his test to see what he can get away with. This is the beginning stages. The inauguration was the beginning of his power, his other section of power, or I should say level of power. And so now he's trying to see what he can get away with, how far he can go. So what people think, oh, he just a troll. Do they understand what that means? But we'll talk about that after these last two clips. Okay.
And if you do not call him out, then anything that happens after this point is in part your fault, and you don't get to say this time that you didn't know. You don't get to say that there was no point where you could call this out or stop this, because this is the moment. This is the point. And whatever you are doing now is what you would have done back then. So if you are sitting there saying nothing, or if worse, you are defending this man, that is what you would have done back then. Draw some lines. And please do not fail this test.
Elon Musk does a fascist salute at Donald Trump's inauguration, and we're meant to pretend that it was a Roman salute, and therefore that makes it okay. I'm sure you've seen the coverage about this by now, and I'm sure you've seen the video. It is, the phrase is, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's almost certainly a duck. And there are conclusions that one can draw very, very quickly when you see that gesture. It looks exactly like the gestures that a certain man with the initials AH, who ruled Germany in the 1930s and 40s, did on a regular basis. And all his supporters, any newsreel footage you see of that time, it's the same salute. It is a fascist salute. It is a salute of oppression. It is a salute of dictatorship. It is a salute of hate. And the media coverage is somewhat ambiguous on this because they're afraid to say what they're saying because there are potentially ramifications. These are people that are manipulating and have the power to change things. And the media is coming under a lot of stress over the last lot of years. Donald Trump and his people have tried increasingly to dissuade us from following it and teaching us that they are the only people that tell the truth. So they're using the euphemism that it was a Roman salute. And I've seen a lot of people on here as well trying to say that it was a Roman salute and therefore it was okay. It wasn't what it looked like. But that's not true. And when you look at the Roman salute's evolution is into the Sikh Heil. It is into the fascist salute that we know from the 20th century. That has been used by...
The Roman salute was just what, y'all know his name, the man who decided to take the Roman salute and do his thing with it. It's still the same. It's just a softer name. And that's what they're trying to say. Oh, it was, but like that one young lady that just read the definition said, all they had to do was Google it. Then they would see it's pretty much the same thing. It's just transition into something different.
Fascists and bigots ever since. If I gave him the benefit of the doubt and said it was an unintentional thing, he should be very aware about the optics of that, and he would need to make some kind of statement about it, but he's not going to, because it was what it looked like, because it was what it was meant to be. He's giving a very, very clear sign. This is a man who doesn't care, you know? And we should be aware that symbols and ideology, symbols change over time. And the Roman salute, if that was the excuse, evolved a long time ago into something else and is now seen as a fascist salute. Just the same as that other emblem beloved by that particular brand of despot in history, the swastika, which has a long history as a beautiful religious symbol, as something that was a symbol of protection, but was manipulated and used as part of that regime's system of hate, became part of their branding. And so when we see the swastika in use today, we don't tend to see it in the context of that ancient history and religion. We see it in the context of being a symbol of the fascist regimes. And if you're sitting there trying to convince yourself that what we're looking at is anything else, you're deluding yourself. The warning signs have been there for a long time, and burying our head in the sand and making excuses for people that are doing bad things and have bad ideas is not good. And I dare say the vast majority of people that interact with me on social platforms are probably in some way alternate in your viewpoints or your lifestyles. And they, you know, we're exactly the kind of people that are going to be on their list in due course. So yeah, be afraid. But let's stop pretending it was anything other than it was. And it was undoubtedly a fascist salute.
Okay, I'm going to stop this video here. There is more to see, more people speaking. So I'll make sure that I have that information in the description box so you can take a look. Because one of the things that I like on how she compiled everything with people who from all over the country, These people are Caucasian people from all over the country, not just the United States. I think it was one that's from Germany, but they're from everywhere. And, you know, people all across the world watches inaugurations and different things like that. And I won't lie, it just seemed like our presidency in inaugurations in different events is always kind of like reality showish to people outside of the other countries, to the other people from other countries, which sucks. Okay, but that's what it is. And this right here hit everybody because the whole world know what that is. And why do you think the whole world know what that is? It's because that group of people that his wolf pack is about world domination. It's about world domination. It's not about just a country. It's not about a state. It's not about none of that. It's about world domination and trying to create a pure white bread world. That is why this is so important for people to pay attention to. And it's extremely important now because of the fact that these executive orders, which we're about to get to, let's check this out.
Millions of federal workers are now on paid leave after President Trump directed all federal agencies to end their diversity, equity, and inclusion staff.
Action News reporter Christina Lopez joins us now to explain how this executive order will directly impact Valley workers. Christina.
Graciela and Warren, during the early days of the Biden administration, a mandate was issued across all agencies to develop and bolster diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, one of President Trump's first executive orders was to dismantle those programs, and now everyone working on them is being placed on leave. One of President Trump's first executive orders targets millions of federal employees working on diversity, equity, and inclusion programs and initiatives.
Our country is going to be based on merit again.
A memo.
He said our country is going to be based on merit again. I'm trying to calm down before I talk. Okay. When was there ever equality for people to be on the same playing field for it to be based on merit?
From the U.S. Office of Personnel Management ordered leaders to place all staff working in DEI roles on paid leave by 5 p.m. on Wednesday. In President Trump's order, he says that DEI policies violate federal civil rights laws and, quote, undermine the traditional American values of hard work, excellence, and individual achievement in favor of an unlawful, corrosive, and pernicious identity-based spoils system. And
the black jobs that he was talking about, okay. Because clearly black jobs is different from corporate fields, political fields, because he said that the Mexicans were taking the black jobs, right? Okay.
And I think this DEI leave is just another example of kind of cruelty and petty.
The best way to stop discriminating against people on the basis of race or gender is to stop discriminating against people on the basis of race and gender.
In 2022, the government released its first DEI progress report. It found that the federal workforce reflects the broader U.S. population overall, with 60% of workers being white and 55% being male. However, it found less diversity at the senior executive level, with more than 75% white and more than 60% male.
So when you challenge the notion that doors should be open, you're challenging the progress that women have made, that people of color have made, that people of gender identity have made over the years to create a stronger and a better America. That's what this is about.
Some policies and programs this order will impact will include training, accountability, and federal grant and benefits programs. But one group who will not be impacted are those working for the federal judiciary. According to the Eastern District of California, which oversees the U.S. courthouse in downtown Fresno, quote, President Trump's executive order pertaining to DEI employees in Fresno, as far as we are aware, this executive order only pertains to employees of the executive branch of the government. The judiciary is not run by the executive branch, end quote.
Now, as for next steps, by tomorrow, federal agency leaders must compile a list of DEI offices created and workers hired since 2020. And in 10 days, they must create a plan to carry out what's being called a reduction in force action against those workers. Morning, Graciela.
Hey, Central California, stay up to date.
Man, this is crazy work. I'm not going to lie to you. It's so many other executive orders. And then he just pardoned all of the people that just, was it, the January 6th? He just pardoned all them people. Those people that hurt police officers, hurt people that, you know, people of importance that was in the building, but mostly police officers got hurt. And he pardoned 1,500 people, all of them, full pardon for all of them. People that was serving like 6 years, who really like was doing damage to people coming home or maybe home. So what's that saying about how he feel about police? And now do the police understand how we feel? Message. All right, this is the last video, guys. Now, this video, hopefully he don't shut me down for this, because I'm not gonna lie, this is not one of my favorite content creators. And the reason why I'm actually showing this video low key is because of the buffoonery. Now, I just showed you, they just cut the DEI. Okay. And I also showed you that there were white people that's not standing for what Elon did. You just seen that, right? It's got to be one of our own people. Watch this.
I want to say thank you. Let's look at one of these tech billionaire oligarchs speaking at the inauguration.
Oh, wait.
My heart goes out to you. Did he just Sig Heil? It is
Oh,
thanks to you.
hold on. Oh, man, this is a different video. This is not him. Okay. This is not him. Oh, man. All right. Okay. This is the wrong clip. Oh, wait, maybe it's, oh, maybe it is.
Anyway, let's look at one of these tech billionaire oligarchs speaking at the inauguration. My heart goes out to you. Did he just Sig Heil? It is thanks to you.
Oh, yeah.
That the future of civilization.
Elon Musk just did a Nazi salute while speaking at one of Donald Trump's inauguration events. Just take a look at this clip. So, what was that? What was that? On day one of Donald Trump's term, day one, Elon Musk is doing stuff like this? Really? Folks, I don't know why Elon Musk did this, but he should apologize immediately. That is absolutely disgusting. It's just absolutely gross. And what I do know, America, is that we are in for a very rough and very long 4 years.
I cannot believe this happened today at a
Okay, I'll have this one down at the down as well, but this is the wrong one. So I'm not even gonna look for it either because he probably has shut me down. So it was this content creator, black guy, and I think his name is Black Conservative, something like that. And he was laughing and joking about what Elon did and was talking about it was just hand gesture of love and heart, you know, and it was like he really didn't have a clue. And he kept talking about, oh, CNN is talking about it, and they're making it a big deal, and you know, just pretty much like his whole content was praising Elon. And I just was like, what is happening? Like, what is really going on? Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm not saying we should be worried, because if you have faith and you believe, then listen, being worried about what man can do, no. But there needs to be a level of preparation and wisdom and knowledge that is happening like right now before things get out of hand, because this is just the beginning. We got 4 whole years. That's a long time. And like I said earlier in my Facebook Live, if you have never seen Red Dawn, let me see if I can share that. Let me see if Red Dawn even still exists. They might have took that off. Listen, I skipped school as a young child to watch this movie. I ain't gonna lie to you. Okay, let me see if I can share my screen. Hold on. I need y'all to see that for those who... Y'all know I'm not good with sharing my screen. I ain't gonna lie. Let's see. Booyah. Okay. Red Dawn. Oh, this came out in 1984. Let's see. This came out in 1984. Let's see if I can read it though. In an alternate 1980s, the United States stands alone as communism grows stronger when Soviet soldiers invade a small Colorado town. Brothers escape with friends to the forest with their father, Tom, a prisoner of the invading army. The children decide to fight against the Soviets as the country comes under increasing attack. The group teams up with Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Tanner to take back their town. This was just directed at a small town, okay? However, trust and believe. This is definitely a subliminal. And that came out during the time when we really was beefing with Russia. Okay. So take a look at that. Watch that movie. It was extremely good. I think I'm gonna go revisit that again since I watched that at a younger age. And I just kind of wanted to share my thoughts with you guys, share some stuff, share what I've been trying to figure out, and you know, where I think that we're headed. And I already showed you where I think we're headed. And I hope that, you know, you guys take this seriously. Still have a good time in life, do what you got to do, but also We really need to start holding people accountable, holding them accountable for just not wanting to, just being sheep, Like that one video with that guy that was outside of the inauguration event, and only one, or maybe the two guys that was together were the only ones that said this is unacceptable. Out of all the Trump lovers that was there, everybody else dismissed it, laughed about it, didn't know what it was. Boy, I tell you. And then now you wonder why Elon and Vivek, whatever, I can't pronounce that man's name. Yeah, the Indian man. But you wonder why they said that it's not enough smart MAGA people for them to hire in tech, that they need to go outside of the country. And that's why some of the MAGA people are mad at Elon them, because that's what they said about them. And both of them men are not from America. They weren't born here. Guys, y'all, I don't know what's going on, but let me tell you this. I appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you so much for the love. Protect Black Women will be back next week for the remaining episodes. So please check that out. I'll be having a promo. Probably today is Thursday. I'll probably have one hopefully tomorrow. You know, the plantation. I might be doing I work 9 to 5. So when I come home 5 to 9, I'll probably be doing some promotions then. So you'll probably see something up for Protect Black Women as far as like when it'll be coming out in the date. Okay. So yeah, thank you guys. And also please show some love at the bottom. One Nest Media, $ One Nest Media, just a dollar help, anything, so I can save up and I can continue to work at trying to get my pods together, you know, and just do this since I'm not monetized. Okay. And I thank you guys once again, and y'all have a good night. All right. Love y'all and mean it.